This collection is big, it's bold, it's electrifying, and Las Vegas is the perfect place to be hosting an event of this caliber and historical importance.
This is truly an opportunity for collectors across the world to buy a piece of history.
This kind of material just doesn't come to the market. It's incredibly rare.
In a lot of ways, the story of this collection is the story of Picasso.
We couldn't be more excited to be partnering this October with MGM Resorts on a very unique and special sale of Picassos from the MGM Resorts collection. It must have been such an extraordinary experience for people to come to the Picasso restaurant and be able to sit and have dinner amongst this compendium of works from Picasso's entire lifetime.
The Picasso restaurant is such a fixture of the Bellagio, and these paintings and ceramics are so well known by guests. So they have their own iconic stature within Las Vegas lore.
Ranging from 1917 to 1969, these 11 works really give an encyclopedic view of Picasso's work and the diversity of his output over the course of his career. One of the highlights of the Picasso sale is Picasso's Femme au béret rouge-orange, this magnetic portrait of Marie-Thérèse Walter from 1938. This is in fact one of the last portraits that Picasso did of Marie-Thérèse. In 1935, Picasso met Dora Maar and had concurrent relationships with Marie-Thérèse and Dora, which right around this time, Dora eclipses Marie-Thérèse almost permanently in Picasso's portraiture. But here, for almost the very last time, he really celebrates Marie-Thérèse's sinuous, curvilinear, romantic features. The palette is quite signature Marie-Thérèse. You have the yellow, which he often used with her body, and then you have the purple in the collar, which is a permutation of a lavender that he very often used in his portraits of her. It's really exciting to have these two wartime still lifes in this collection of works. He's painting these works during the Nazi occupation of Paris, and so by virtue of the occupation, he's working indoors. He had to transform his vocabulary and really look to the quotidian again for meaning. He's fragmenting the subject again using a really dramatic and dynamic compositional design. It feels explosive.
Certainly the two most looming pillars of this collection are the two late oils, Buste d'Homme and Homme et Enfant. These are both painted in 1969, at the sort of height of his late career. Homme et Enfant is almost 80 inches tall. Nothing of this scale has really been on the market, save for maybe 5 or 6 examples in the last 30 years. The last painting of a comparable size, a Mousquetaire à la Pipe, sold for over $30 million, tripling its low estimate. There's this aura to Homme et Enfant that's absolutely incredible when you're standing in front of it. It envelops you. You feel like you can walk right into it. And you see every brushstroke, you see the action behind his painting. Buste d'Homme is well over 50 inches in scale, and here you see Picasso referencing old masters like Velázquez. There's this clear connection to the musketeer, and that was a very, very important subject for Picasso. For him, the musketeer was a superhero. They look, frankly, like they were painted yesterday. It's amazing not only how perfectly preserved these paintings were, but they have this incredible freshness and immediacy that you really only get from 1960s Picasso, when he's working with such incredible confidence and is able to work in a way that's totally uninhibited. In 1917, you have the Pierrot, and this is an exquisite example of Picasso as a draftsman. This is unique within these 11 works, showing him not as somebody who was a master of his own style, but was a master of academic drawing, as good as anyone in the world. And then on the other side, you have this work on paper, which is done also with ink, but also gouache, in 1967. He's working with a lot of different media. He's kind of daubing gouache and watercolor and getting this very deep, very complex surface to be innovative and to experiment.
The true highlight amongst the ceramic works in this group is a work that Picasso made in 1962 based on Manet's Déjeuner sur l'herbe. This painting was created 100 years prior and was truly revolutionary at the time, in part because it was so two-dimensional. Here we're looking at an object that, while its surface is rather flat, Picasso has incised into it and painted on top of it and created a real dimensionality. It's both a sculpture and it's a painting. Picasso, in 1946, goes to a town called Valoris in the south of France. This was a location where Picasso truly reinvented himself. We have a vase, we have a tile, and we have these small floor tiles that would have been used throughout France at the time. And Picasso takes each of these basic prefabricated forms and reinvents it through a little bit of remodeling and some incising and also coloration. Most of these works, they come from his estate and only entered the market years after he died.
This is an opportunity in a small capsule to really learn so much about Picasso.
Engaging with this collection, interfacing with it, experiencing it, seeing it in person, reading about it is a fabulous introduction to Picasso as an artist and to his market.
I think what's so exciting about this group is that we see examples of Picasso's genius from every major period in his career. We see history playing out over a century in Europe through this artwork. And it's all been selected to hang together in this public space in Las Vegas.